volevo chiedere a Peter come si lavora con questa coppia, Favreau-Vaughn, com'è il lavoro con loro, e poi lei mi diceva prima che aspetta che un giorno Mr. Vaughn esordisca la regia. Cosa deve succedere perché accada questo debutto dietro la macchina da presa con Mr. Vaughn, secondo lei?
Well, I think Vince is a director now. I mean, as you know, he's written on his movies. He's been my partner on this from script through cutting room. All the decisions on this movie we made as a team. To have that as a first-time filmmaker was such a luxury for me. And Vince is a storyteller. You know, I first met Vince 20 years ago. We were very good friends, and he had just as many ideas for movies then as he does now. And I think the one important thing that we have with all of us is when you work, there's a great trust. And when you have a friendship at its core, in the filmmaking process, it allows us to explore, and when you trust each other, you feel free to experiment and to try new things. And you know that inevitably the right decision will be made later. And I think that's another element that helps to make the movies relatable and good, is that when you have that, that is a nice thing. You often as an actor, because I was an actor for so long, if you're not trusting the process of the filmmaker, it can be scary because you're maybe sometimes want to hold back on making certain choices so that those aren't used. The relationship that we have that really is the basis from a friendship, I think really comes from a deep place of trust.
Per il debutto alla regia, cosa dovrebbe succedere per fare anche questo passo?
Well, for Peter, first, he's a great storyteller. When we did Maid, which was the first movie Favreau directed, he was the one who sat behind the monitor and watched our performances and kept track of everything, because John was acting in the movie as well. And for me, I've always liked to collaborate, even with my actors. They'll come up with lines or do stuff or improvise. I feel like I've always been involved as a creative storyteller. Maybe one day I would wear the hat of director and do something. I'm not opposed to that, but I've really been thankful that I've had a group of people to work with who have elevated me and that I can share the experience with.
Ma lavorare con un gruppo consolidato di persone, che cosa significa? Come ti sei trovato a lavorare con loro che sono amici da tanto?
Era primeramente proprio un sogno lavorare con Vince e Jon Favreau e attori che io ho visto in tanti film. Allora veramente stava eccitata di fare questo carattere, ma comunque loro stanno amici e non si sanno mai se va a essere un'amicizia dove non si può entrare o che succede, ma loro stanno veramente collaborative. They were super collaborative, and it was just an amazing experience to have that, you know, to have these people who are such good friends, and I think that was really important for the movie too. It's amazing when you get to be away from home, especially in the beginning of a movie, because then you spend a lot more time together. So all the girls, we didn't know each other either, and for us to get a chance to get to know each other, I think makes a big difference for the film as well. It just feels more real because there is a real friendship there. So it was amazing. I mean, it's fantastic to watch them at work. It was fantastic to work with Peter, who's an amazing director. He did a brilliant job, always positive. So yeah, it was all in all, it was a pretty surreal, amazing experience.
Abbiamo delle domande? Prego, una domanda lì in fondo e poi una domanda da davanti. Prima in fondo, credo che sia Scila in fondo, cioè l'ottico.
Scila Capodanno, Starlet TV, una domanda per Vince Vaughn. E dato che mi risulta che non è mai stato sposato, come mai ha sentito l'esigenza di parlare delle problematiche di coppie sposate e se è così che si aspetta il suo matrimonio? Grazie.
Well, as people, we all have 1,000 sides to ourselves. So sometimes when you're younger, say you are a good athlete, you start to get known as the athlete, and you present yourself as the athlete because that's how you feel most comfortable in a clique in school. But really, there's other sides to yourself you just don't feel as safe bringing those forward. The girl who does good in school, maybe she presents herself as I'm an academic, but there's also a sexuality to her, or an athletic side or a demanding side, but they don't feel comfortable bringing that forward. The fun part about being an actor is you get to bring those different things to the forefront depending on what the role calls for. We all have all these sides to us, but actors get the opportunity for the role to do that. For me, for the movie, you know, the mission statement was to make a movie that really says what this movie says, which is maybe you don't have to solve all the problems. Maybe there's not one right answer to everything. But life goes by very quickly. And if you don't stop and have some fun and laugh every day,